Hi, I'm Crypto Kip. This is the Crypto Report. In today's video, I want to talk about a few things for XRP. Getting into the judge rejecting this SEC and XRP lawsuit settlement, which we need to take a look at. Also, some of the headlines that are hitting that could have some negative impacts on the crypto space. But on the same breath, we do have some pro-crypto things being said, some that are actually maybe quite bullish for XRP, and a potential bright future that this administration could potentially pave despite some of the hurdles that might pop up along the way. On top of this, we also do have some big announcements coming to the traditional market for XRP and crypto overall. Welcome back to the Crypto Report, everybody. I am Crypto Kip. Smash a like, subscribe to the channel. XRP is available for trading on Blowfin. If you want to sign up using our link, you get up to a $5,000 deposit bonus when you sign up if you want to check that out. So to start this thing off, guys, I want to jump right into the overall market to kind of get our gauge on what the trend is. Bitcoin's at 103, holding above 100K is a beautiful thing. Our fear and greed index is climbing up, as is the altcoin season index, signaling that we're potentially moving out of this Bitcoin season where Bitcoin's kind of been outpacing a lot of altcoins into that moment of the bull market where we actually see altcoins start to outperform BTC. So let's take a look at XRP and this first story in this one. The judge rejecting the SEC and Ripple's bid to rework the XRP settlement. The only reason that Judge Annalisa Torres said that she would not approve this and didn't give her stamp of approval on this is because it is procedurally improper. Okay, so if you kind of get down into the weeds with this, right now what you need to know is one thing very specifically. Coming out from the Ripple CLO, the chief legal officer, Stuart Aldertoy, I don't know how to say his name. He came out and he said, nothing in today's order changes Ripple's wins. Ripple and the SEC are fully in agreement to resolve this case, and we will revisit the issue with the court together. Now, when you see the news coming out that essentially this is just procedural errors, it's literally just they filled out the paperwork wrong and they tried to finalize it improperly through the court system, which is kind of maybe embarrassing for the SEC and Ripple that they kind of didn't go through the proper legal avenue, should I say, to get it done. They were trying to do it legally. They just did it improperly. And so we are going to, in the end of the day, going to see this proposed deal of reducing their $125 million fine down to $50 million getting finalized, ending the 4-year legal battle. This will happen. They just need to essentially file the paperwork correctly. This, at the end of the day, is a very bullish thing for XRP and for crypto, but there are some potential caveats that we have to look for around the way for this crypto market overall. Here's an article put out by The Economist saying crypto has become the ultimate swamp asset. Now, unfortunately, you do see cryptocurrency getting politicized from one party to the other. There seems to be a disagreement on whether we want to get a stablecoin bill passed, and they're renegotiating that right now. Spoiler alert, I think it's probably going to get passed in the long run, but they always do this when the Senate is looking at a bill. They try to rewrite these things to kind of get a win-win for both sides on either side. I think the stablecoin bill is coming through, but it does not change the fact that more people are getting fearful that potentially in the government right now, there is people, I think they're targeting the president most specifically on this, that are benefiting from their office in the crypto space. Now they're calling it a potential swamp asset. That being said, I want to remind you guys, how bullish is this administration for crypto? Well, I think it's quite bullish. The son of the president came out and said publicly that crypto will destroy banks like JP Morgan, and the SWIFT system is broken. And XRP, one of XRP's biggest promises is that XRP and the XRP ledger is basically going to replace SWIFT, which transacts trillions of dollars, and eventually banks will be less relevant. And this is kind of the idea with decentralized finance, Bitcoin, and crypto overall, but XRP specifically has been designed to fix some of the problems that happen with the SWIFT system that people have been complaining about for years. And even though you do have some people that are writing articles saying that crypto is not so good and citing entanglements with government officials, and if there is some potential conflict of interest, you do see other publications coming out with articles like this. Now, Digital Galaxy CEO Mike Novogratz, a crypto entrepreneur, has something going very well in Canada, has for a while, and actually I believe his stock was live in the Canadian market because they were a little bit more lenient on those things. Well, now the USA is obviously getting more pro-crypto, and Mike Novogratz is one of those guys that I believe would be very bullish on XRP because actually crypto needs to progress and things need to move forward for this crypto industry. And who are we looking at for guidance on this? Well, the current administration is definitely one thing, but now you've got the new head of the SEC who is probably going to settle this case with Ripple any minute now, as soon as the judges will kind of get that through. And you also have a lot of other bullish catalysts happening, but this administration and they're pushing forward for this crypto narrative is bullish, and crypto industry experts and leaders like Mike Novogratz are bullish. So when we see things like this, we do see the other side of it where, okay, there's a lot of positive things happening and some people kind of want to rain on the parade for crypto, just to kind of make sure there's checks and balances, which I do understand, but it's something to be aware of. But that is not stopping XRP from moving forward. Actually, this Monday, May 19th, we have XRP futures, essentially options trading occurring for the XRP token going live on the Chicago Mercantile Exchange, one of the largest derivative markets in the world. Institutional money is stepping in, and that is very, very real right now. There is so much bullish activity going on right now for XRP that I'm very excited about it. And I was looking at kind of just the weekly candles. You could argue that this is an insane bull flag. As long as we stay within this range, I would find it hard to believe XRP to go down to $1.56, but it could happen. And that would kind of be my low point for XRP for the remainder of this bull market personally, looking at the weekly candles. Of course, if you do dive into more specifics on the charts, this is the total market cap. I'm going to get to that in a second. My immediate target levels for the downside for XRP are basically $2.26 off this daily candle trend line that I have kind of drawn out there. And if we do break below that, we could potentially come back and tap down to $2, looking for potential trading opportunities. I'd be looking at a potential long at $2.26 or a potential long at $2 if we did go ahead and see that. I more likely than not believe that we are going to stick around $2 and find support there. But I do want you guys to be aware, if you're bullish on this bull flag, we could come down to $1.53 and still be validated in this bull flag and continue to the upside. If you want to trade XRP, sign up for Blowfin using our link in the description down below, up to a $5,000 deposit bonus if you haven't taken advantage of it already. Thanks for tuning into the Crypto Report. If you are new to this channel, welcome. I'm Crypto Kip. We do videos every single day on this, live streams Monday through Friday for you guys at roughly 11 a.m. Central Standard Time. Check it out, subscribe, turn on notification bells, guys, and I'll see you in the next one. DCA, HODL, 2 videos here if you want to check them out. Peace, guys.